Listen to your breath.
Please welcome author, humorist, and your bedtime storyteller, Dylan Brody.
Lindsay pinched a bit of green sticky bud from the plastic baggie and stuffed it into the bong's bowl. She took a moment to smell the tips of her fingers before reaching for the lighter. I can't believe you can actually pay for this place just by doing your comedy shows. If I wanted someone to take pot shots, I'd go visit mom and dad. Lindsay, pulling smoke through the gurgling water, put up a finger, asking for a moment to finish the hit. She lifted her thumb off the carb and pulled in the chamber smoke with a hiss, and then held her breath for a moment before squeaking out through a closed throat. I meant it wholly as a compliment. I didn't mean I can't believe you make money or I can't believe you support yourself. I meant I can't believe how cool my little brother is. Oh, well, in that case, I don't think I can argue with you. And why would you want to, really? She let the smoke out slowly, refusing to cough. I want to ask a question. Okay. I don't want you to think I'm being a dick. Okay. Seriously, you know how a minute ago I thought you were attacking me when you weren't? Yeah, no, I totally get that. I'm really sorry. That's not what I meant. I know, but I'm saying I don't want you to hear this the way you would hear it coming from Dad. I want you to know that it's just a question. 2 more days, I think. What? You want to know how much longer I'll be staying on your couch? I'm saying I think I'll be gone in 2 days. Seriously? Lindsay grinned and nodded, pulling another hit into her lungs. You're going back? Lindsay did cough now, but it was more of a pot smoker's spit take than a reaction to the dry heat. Oh, fuck no. I'm staying. I should hear tomorrow that I got the apartment I want. Wait, you found an apartment? When did you find an apartment? Lindsay grinned at him. So you're staying? Here, I mean, not here, but here. Lindsay nodded. It's January and I wore a t-shirt and shorts to go out for coffee today. How could I not stay here? Daniel nodded, understanding. The weather's good, but what are you going to do? I mean, do you have a plan or do you have a plan? Lindsay laughed. Now you sound a lot like Dad. Sorry, yeah, I get that. But do you have a plan? Yeah, sort of. No. But if I went back, I'd be not having a plan in the cold, far away from you and very close to Mom and Dad. They sat for a moment, comfortable in one another's company. Daniel looked at his hands. He scratched a cuticle with his thumb. He said, it's not easy here, Linz. It's not easy anywhere. He shook his head. He did not want to confess, but he did not want to be part of the Los Angeles lie. Nothing is what you think it is. Seriously. Everything they told us, everything we learned about life in the arts, it's not what it's supposed to be out here. You're doing okay. Daniel closed his eyes for a long moment. I'm not. I'm really not, Linz. Look at this place. Are you kidding me? He stood up. He went to the window and looked out, even though both he and Lindsay knew there was nothing to look at out there but the little parking lot, nearly empty in the middle of a weekday. I'm broke all the time, Lindsay. Like, all the time. Lindsay took off her glasses. She cleaned them with the sleeve of her t-shirt and tilted her head to the side, watching Daniel's back. She knew there was something more in what he was saying, something secret. The sadness in his neck tension ran deeper than simple money woes. You're a 24-year-old comic. I think you're supposed to be broke. Daniel shook his head, still looking out at the parking lot. No, that's part of the lie they tell us. On the East Coast, in school, you dedicate yourself to the art, you work your craft, you pay your dues, you keep your head down, people notice. Nobody notices, Lindsay. Nobody cares. I'm doing 20, 25 weeks on the road this year. That's what I've got booked. Weekends, one-nighters in between. I'm doing the work. I'm keeping my head down. I'm funny as hell and I'm writing all the time, spec scripts, screenplays. You have no idea. You write beautiful stuff, kiddo. Yeah, right? I write beautiful stuff. But you know who's not broke all the time? Comics who put together a tight 6 minutes that they can do on television about airline food and bad dates. Innocuous observations that don't threaten anything. Those will get you a sitcom deal. Writers who don't know how to put together a scene but have a knack for pitching their ideas. People with agents who their parents introduced them to. You know what the last agent I met with said to me? No, this was a literary agent, which in Hollywood, by the way, has nothing to do with literature. He looked at a couple of my scripts because I was recommended by someone who works on Dear John. I don't know what that is. It's a sitcom, Judd Hirsch. Oh, yeah, I know that one. Go on, got it. Guy used to be a comic. Now he's writing this TV show. And he said he'd pass on a couple of my scripts. And I went in. I met with this guy, big deal agent, big deal agency. He tells me he likes my scripts, but they're too esoteric. These are scripts for shows on the air now. He says, nobody wants to see how you can change their show. You got to write to the formula. And I said, once I've got a job, I can write whatever they want. For samples, I want to be fully exploring the artistic possibilities within the format. He winced, remembering the meeting. He realized that his voice was rising, and he knew he sounded exactly as indignant, exactly as shrill as he had in that man's office. Lindsay spoke softly, calmly, a therapist leading him through the revelation of a troubling dream. What did he say, Daniel? Daniel tried to mirror her calm, but he could feel the strain in his jaw. He said, the guy sneered at me and said, artistic possibilities? Fuck artistic possibilities. It's not called show art, kid. It's called show business. He tossed my scripts into my lap and he said, you have some talent. Now get out of my office. And I said, should I write a new spec to send you that's less interesting? And I knew it was the wrong thing to say, but I said it anyway. And he said, no, I'm not interested in spoon feeding you little lessons in how to make a living. He returned from the window. He picked up the bong. He pulled flame through the bowl and filled his lungs with soothing smoke. So you keep at it. You don't let the bastards get you down. The stuff of yours that I've read, some of it matches the shows perfectly. Daniel nodded, holding his breath. His eyes watered. He squeaked out, yeah, I haven't sold a goddamn thing yet, and I'm already compromising the work. Maybe that's what you have to do for a while, but you'll find your way in. You know you will. You're too talented not to, Daniel. You know that. Daniel shrugged. I'm not sure talent counts for anything anymore. He set down the bong and, feeling a bit dizzy, took a knee. I'm not proposing. I'm keeping myself from fainting. Yeah, I got that. She waited for him to regain his composure. She waited for him to drop into the thrift store reading chair that did not match the couch. You want to know why I don't have a plan? Why I'm moving across the country and making a new plan? Why? Daniel asked her. Because I'm 29. And if you don't have a dance career going strong by the time you're 30, it's not going to happen. Seriously? Pretty much. Wow. Yeah. You know what you don't need to be a comic or a television writer? What? Good knees. You've got time. I'm tired of being scared. Lindsay nodded. Fortunately for you, now you have your big sister moving to town to take care of you. Oh, good. Nothing makes me feel safer than a stoned lady with bad knees and no plan. Hey, who are you calling a lady? Daniel chuckled. Mom thinks it's my own fault. Mom thinks, what's your own fault? That I didn't make it as a dancer. That's okay. She thinks it's Dad's fault that she didn't make it as a journalist, and I'm pretty sure she thinks it's my fault that she's a terrible mother. Lindsay laughed sharp and harsh. Don't be ridiculous. She thinks she's a wonderful mother. She thinks it's your fault that you're an ungrateful son. Of course. Then, after a pause, he said, how does she do the math? What math? That you're to blame for the fickle nature of life in the arts. Lindsay paused. It only comes out after the second scotch, but then she gets honest, scathingly honest, both of them. They use the truth as a weapon. Daniel nodded. I don't think they know. They think they're helping. Daniel turned the bong on the coffee table. He did not lift it. He did not reach for the lighter. Are you going to tell me? You remember Michelle? Daniel nodded. She trailed off, unable to speak the words, unwilling to find a euphemism. Daniel nodded. I was really a mess. I thought I should have seen it coming. I thought I should have done something, stopped her somehow, but it wasn't just the guilt. I really loved her, you know? Daniel nodded. I remember. I put on 7 pounds. What? I know it doesn't sound like much, but dancers, they want to see nothing but clean lines, elegant, long muscle. A few pounds can change the way you look. And it was just as I was starting to get into audition for the big companies, 7 pounds. It's a lie. It was 7 pounds when I auditioned for ABT. At one point, I was 9 pounds over. Still, that's ridiculous. You don't believe her, do you? What? You know that gaining a little bit of weight for a few months doesn't mean you're at fault for, failing as a dancer? Jesus, Lynn, seriously? I'm okay, really. They sat in silence for a long moment. Then Daniel said, I hate that she did that to you. She didn't do it to me. She just did it. She was in pain. She thought she would always be in pain. She took the only exit ramp she saw. I just got left on the highway, and I was used to having someone help me navigate. Daniel blinked, confused for a moment. Then he said, I meant Mom. Lindsay acknowledged the little misunderstanding with a tiny nod, the kind New Yorkers throw to one another in the hallway of apartment buildings as they pass, the smallest possible upward twitch. You sure you're okay? Lindsay shrugged. I'm making a plan. What do you got so far? Well, I'm 84% certain I've got an apartment to move into in a couple of days. Daniel nodded. It doesn't have air conditioning, so I'll probably be over here a lot in the summer. Daniel nodded. This isn't an easy city to be unemployed in. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to make a living. And I'll probably want to come here all the time and smoke a ton of your excellent California weed. Okay. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, Daniel said. That sounds like a plan. Listen to your breath.